And then we're live. Hello.
Not too crooked could also be a...
No, we're not too crooked. We're a little...
Yeah, but that could also be our slogan.
No.
I am standing straight now. Can you see that?
Yeah, it's only Karl that's crooked. Or the background. No, it's like on a... I'm balancing the computer on a very pointy rock.
Yeah.
I have to restore the chat though. Say hi to your sister, I bet. Oh, shit, there's more
Hello.
rain. Yeah, as I was saying, you have to say hi to your sister. She's probably here. I did something really bad. I texted one of Karl's childhood friends, or was it partying friends, and told him that you were going to be here today.
If it's Torben you're talking about, that's more partying, I would say. Unless you'd consider me to still be a child when I'm in my mid-20s.
You're younger than me, so all's fair. Okay, no, we're getting too much rain. Crap, it just started.
Yeah.
Charlotte says, first, humid in Bergen, and now it's colder. I have candles, and I don't hate it. Well, see, now this part of the valley is pretty much dry. But that's where the rain is coming from, so we're going to have to relocate. I'm hoping you can hear me okay. It is nice. It's been so hot. It was hot in the east of Norway as well. Lyra says, it's hot again in Kansas, high of 100 and every... Wow, holy crap. Andrea's from my hometown in Duluth. It's sunny and breezy and 60. Sweater weather has arrived. See, this is the kind of weather I come from. So is the social acceptance of pumpkin-flavored everything.
Didn't you have rain this
I
morning?
love pumpkin stuff.
No, I didn't notice that.
There was a little bit of...
rain up at Sharping.
Oh, okay.
Enough for me to clear my windshield a couple times on the drive over the mountain, but...
No, we didn't.
Oh, I just realized you don't have a microphone.
Yeah, I don't remember we had rain. But do we need microphones now?
Well, you do because you're... It's... I don't know if they can hear you. I'm loud, so they'll hear me anyway.
Yes. I am quiet, so
Yeah,
I need some audio aid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was this week?
We have had people every day, and not too much people at one time, but it spread out through the whole day. So we are never without things to do.
Where are they from?
Germany, Holland, Belgium, some Spanish.
Yeah.
And Italian. But now we have from Hungary and Romania and Eastern Europe countries. And yeah.
Malta,
Yeah.
Portugal,
Yeah.
Lithuania. We are getting the weird countries now.
Did any
Yeah.
come in big packs like flamingos?
No.
No.
But yeah, weird countries. I had two Swedish here today.
Yeah.
That's very unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think we were letting Swedes into Norway.
No, but I'm
No.
not sure. We might have had Swedish before, but we haven't noticed them. But that Swedish guy said that Swedish people are very modest compared to Norwegians. I think he was joking, but you don't know.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
true, actually. I've noticed that at least.
Okay.
In the 3 years going back and forth to Sweden, their Norwegians are a bit more... well, if any one of the two cultures could possibly be accused of bragging or arrogance, it would be
Okay.
Norwegians over Swedes. But no, Norwegians are pretty humble too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But if you had to put them one titch
Okay.
over, yeah.
Well, to misquote Winston Churchill, if the Swedish are humble, it's because they have a lot of reasons to be humble.
This is true.
That's
So if
cool.
you were to take a train ride, like a distance train ride or a commute, longer commute on a train in Sweden, all the Swedes will have bag lunches with them.
Yeah.
But if you take one on Norway, the Norwegians will just go and buy the damn lunch at the train, the cabin, with the
Yeah.
car with the food.
Yeah, but in the 70s, I think Norwegians also would have their lunch with them.
Yeah.
But now we are too well used to a lot of money, and yeah, we
have evolved past the Swedish.
Yeah.
That's the difference I've noticed.
Yeah,
That was probably
yeah.
the most obvious difference I noticed between the two countries.
Mm.
Let's see. Torben's here. Let's do this. Okay, who is... I see Torben is in the chat there. Who is Torben?
He's a friend of mine from Sogndal.
Yeah.
He has been a radio journalist. He's been a mailman. sound technician.
Mhm.
And what the hell else has the man been doing?
So let's just say he's known you long enough to have naked photos of you.
You want to bring that up? Do you?
Okay.
So I naturally had to tip him off. To
But
make sure.
that
Yeah.
is nothing special. Everybody who knew me in Sogndal has naked photos. of me.
Okay.
Thank fuck that was before the internet.
Oh, there's more. I have to scroll down. So he knows I tipped him off. Any mead brewing going on? Anybody making mead?
I don't think so.
No, not here actually.
Ivar, but he's making it at home.
Arild.
Ivar.
Oh, yeah.
Ivar makes ale or
Yeah, beer.
beer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Aardal also makes it at
Arild
home.
makes mead.
That's the difference.
Mm.
It's a little fly.
The difference is one of the things you actually have to work to get drunk on the other thing you get drunk on one glass.
And then it says Vaktsjef. You've missed Vaktsjef.
Yes, of course. It
So
was
is it a night watchman?
And we used to be at a student house called Meieria.
Yeah.
The
The
diary.
dairy.
And somebody has to be responsible for all the shit that goes on there.
Mm.
And very often that was him.
Ah.
Mhm.
So he has a black belt in turning a blind eye.
Yeah, because you were the one that was caught crawling out of dormitory windows, wasn't it? Or who
The
was
what
that?
now?
Weren't you the one that? Weren't you like crawling through dormitory windows to go and visit? No, who was that?
That wasn't me.
Well, it wasn't me. I
you
didn't live
see-
in a dorm.
No, not me either.
The short period when I was canoodling with a girl who lived in a dorm,
It was you.
No, I didn't crawl through any windows because the trick is just don't leave your shoes outside the door. Take them inside, then they don't know you're there.
Including. So you're saying Torben didn't know that you were.
It's not his dormitory.
No.
He wouldn't care.
Ah.
It's my area is a pub and a discotheque.
Mhm.
So there are no dormitories there.
No. Okay. Well, darn. I thought I had a conspiracy.
So generally speaking, Torben wouldn't really care who I banged. He basically is in charge of the bouncers.
As long as you brought your shoes in the door.
And me and Vemund, you know who Vemund is.
Yeah, Vemund's the one that wants to make a ringmail Vikini.
I had a discussion with Vemund. We are both drunk and we are sitting in my area.
Yeah.
And we somehow get to talking about the control grip. When you grab somebody's hand, kind of turn it against its muscles. Hello. Well, it's basically this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I was talking about how this doesn't really exist in Western martial arts because you don't have any submission there. You just kill people.
Yeah.
But you have it. You have one sequence where you actually use the control grip just to put somebody on the ground, then to step on his neck until he dies. And Vemund says, "Oh yeah, that control grip. That's exactly what the bouncers here on my area does when somebody gets out of line." And I am drunk and dumb, so I said, "No fucking way that Torben knows how to do the bloody control grip. I'm sure he doesn't."
Yeah.
And Vemund says, "Yes, he does, but I can't prove it to you." So drunk me sneaks under. There is a staircase that goes up to the gallery, and right in front of this staircase is a big pillar.
Yeah.
And I sneak between there. I am one of very few people who are narrow enough to actually go between there.
Yeah.
And Torben is standing around talking to people, and he keeps moving slowly backwards until he is closer and closer to me. And then I just grab my hand through this space and grab him over the shoulder. And here I have to give Vemund full credit, because a split second later, Torben has my hand in the control grip that I was sure he didn't know how to do. And he has pulled me halfway through this narrow crevice between the stairs and the pillar.
You are skinny enough.
Yes. No, if I hadn't been skinny, he'd probably broken my arm. So, yes, no, Vemund was right, I was wrong. It's fine.
So do you have you ever tested Torben on his Vakt and his watch?
Well, that I would say goes in that category.
Yeah.
But Torben accidentally tested. Well, he works when he was there. He was usually the Vaktsjef, the guy in charge.
Yeah.
But one day he is out drinking and he sees there are new people working as in his role. So he and another guy called Sten, who you know, he is from Westby like you.
Yep.
Decided to test out these other bouncers by Sten pretending to be obnoxiously drunk and Torben throwing him out and see if they react to this, because Torben is not working, so he should not be throwing people out.
Yeah.
But it takes a little bit of balls from them to go against him because he is the one who trained them. And Sten is pretending to be drunk, and Torben grabs him and just goes, "Ja, han ska ut!" Og så,
He's got to go.
Sten lands face first in the flower bed.
Yeah.
And the flower bed is for some reason full of small pieces of bark.
Yeah,
It's
chipped wood. Yeah.
So he takes 2 handfuls of this bark,
Yeah.
turns around and throws it in Torben's face. And a split second later, he is back in the flower bed face first, because what Sten didn't see is that as soon as Torben comes through the door, there are 2 actual police officers there.
Oh.
So when Sten goes into the flower bed, he doesn't see that Torben has stopped and is now speaking to the police officers. And the guy he just threw out comes back and throws bark in his face. So the police officers just put him back into the flower bed. And it took a while to kind of explain that, oh no, we are just testing these idiots.
Do you have any youthful stories like this?
No.
Were you a behaved boy?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think
Did you
so.
send anybody into the wood chipper?
No. I am normally very friendly, and I don't make fuss.
No, you don't seem like a.
No.
I didn't think he was guilty of this kind of stuff either, but
No.
apparently. there's some
Oh,
good
this
stories.
is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. Well, Maria's here too, and Charlotte's here. Turin says good times. So anyway, we have to throw Karl under the bus because I have Karl here. Whoops.
And maybe Torbjörn has some stories that Karl doesn't want to.
Well, that's why I told him he should come.
Yeah,
Make
that's
sure
good.
Karl would be on today.
Yeah.
Pruda wants to know if you did any panty raids. It's basically where you raid the dorm and steal panties.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we first of all, we are not American. And second of all, we were not 14 at the time.
No.
So
I don't actually think that's what they're stealing.
No,
Let's just
no,
say. Is Karl and it's Karl and Runa. Nice to see you. I'm going backwards in the chat here. Susan Youngman's here from Adirondacks. It's actually nice temperature there too. Charlotte says this week all of my work had to take the test for COVID and had to wear masks and visid. Haha. So I was dead and sweaty. Actually, I gotta look at you guys when I talk, so the microphone picks me up. But there's something new going on in Norway today. But I've actually heard on the news that it's happening in the United States too. They are now putting kids 12 through 18 into vaccination.
Yeah.
But I heard in the United States it's going to be quite mandatory. Although, as far as I know, in Norway, at least, I got a message that my kids can be vaccinated, and it's the option. But yeah, of course, I'm getting them vaccinated. So.
Yeah, and I think as far as I understand, most of the people that are infected now, they are younger people.
Yeah, it's the Delta virus, and the Delta variant anyway has gone made it more rapid that it's going through the schools quickly.
Yeah,
I think we had wasn't it 1,000 students that were in quarantine in one city alone? But quarantine, not infected, but quarantine.
Now we also start the influenza season here at least here in Norway.
Yeah, looks okay. So we go on YouTube on Friday last week, and on Saturday I started thinking I'm having allergies, but I drove 6 hours with the vent on, and all the farms are being plowed right now. So I thought it was. I got a runny nose, so I thought it was just allergies, but my ears were plugging up. But we were driving over the mountains. Sunday morning, I find out I actually had a cold.
Yeah.
And then I gave it to you, who just got over.
yeah.
But so far we got tested, so neither one of us had corona. But apparently that little, just that little cold. Through 4 people.
Yeah.
Because apparently my ex had it, and my kid brought it with her back, and then I got it, and then I gave it to Karl. But it was.
Yeah, but that's an R number of 1. Yeah. So every person infects one another person, so we fall over like a chain of dominoes.
Yeah.
Alex, Karin, Karl, Greg.
And you gave it to Greg, yeah.
And I don't think Greg licked anybody, so it's fine.
Well, I sure as hell didn't lick him. I stayed away from him when I thought I was having allergy symptoms.
No, but you infected me, and
lick
I probably licked Greg. It's the only explanation I can come up
Yeah,
with.
but now we are. If you follow that theory, that's not good theory to follow. Where did you get your infection from?
He got it from
Okay.
me, and apparently I got it from Alex because I thought she was having
Okay,
allergies.
okay.
'Cause she just
I misunderstood. I thought I heard Alex gave it to him.
No,
and,
no.
I did my head.
okay.
Well, then I
Yeah,
find
yeah.
out, so I call my ex to see, to tell him that I have a cold anyway, and I'll be getting tested for corona,
Yeah.
just to make sure. But I still think it's just a cold because it was just sinus infection.
Mm.
And he says, "Oh no, we had that last week," and I'm like, "You little." So
Yeah.
anyway, but you could see how fast it spread.
Yeah,
In a
yeah,
matter
yeah,
Of 10 days, I think 4 people got it.
Yeah.
1 to 1 to 1 to 1. So,
Mm.
God forbid, I don't know how many. Yeah, so cold season is here too.
Yeah.
But luckily it wasn't corona, and obviously you can see I'm fully recovered,
Yeah,
and so
that's
is
good.
Carl.
Yeah, let's say 99%.
Yeah, but you're a couple days behind me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to leave now because I'm
Yeah.
done for my day.
Oh, and I'll take that and I'll
We're
answer
working
Maria's
overtime.
question. This is why I'm lower than Runa. I gave him my microphone because I'm louder.
I have changed floor inside the chicken coop, so I'm full of dust.
Yeah,
Mm.
there's these
I'm
little
uncertain.
flies here. Either we disturbed something or
Yeah, I think
They came-
maybe it's, I don't know.
They're
It has
just-
been like this the whole day, actually.
they're like no-see-ums. So
It might be the few drops of rain we had that has agitated them.
yeah, maybe that's it. They look like little fruit flies.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you.
See you.
Your sister says bye. Okay, let's see.
I'm not back.
Mhm.
I really want it, but
That's not a Viking shovel. Okay. No, he's cleaning the chicken coop.
Yeah, you've seen what the Viking shovel looked like.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a wood, an oar.
Yeah, it's basically a wooden shovel with the metal covering to make it not break apart.
Oh no, then that one I haven't seen. I've only seen
Georg
one that
has one.
does where.
It
Here?
was between the two
Chieftain's Hall?
houses, the double house down there, the Janni Pete house. It
Oh,
was
yeah, the one
between
that's,
there for the longest time.
That one there. Oh, well then maybe I just didn't realize there was metal on it.
It
Things are, like,
isn't
everywhere.
necessarily there, but there should be a metal shoe on the end of it so it doesn't get broken up.
Huh. Let's see. Oh, Karsten's also here, and Doro, of course, from Hamburg. Runa, no more to clip today. Your sister says you need a haircut. He says he knows. It's good that you're keeping on him. Your sisters keep on you.
Yeah, but I haven't been talking about haircuts.
No, I think they've given up on that. No, you can't cut your hair. I saw a photo of you. You know, I have to do it. I have to. I'm not posting it anywhere. I just sent it to everybody I work with. Let's see. Okay, take a good look at this man. What do you think? Same guy? That's only 10 years ago?
It's a little bit more.
Maybe more than that? There you go.
That's
I got that from your one of your friends' pages, by the way. Good things that they put on public. Let's see. There was some other one. Is Karl? Oh yeah, they said nice to see you guys. And then Jenny is here as well. Jenny Eriksson. So 2 weeks ago I had an audio issue. Last week I had visual and audio at the end. Let's see if I can keep it better this time. No, I think we'll be fine. And then Connie Johnson is here. Hello, Connie. We have 1,000 subscribers. I said that, right? So I got 1,000 subscribers, which I think this was pretty much a worthwhile reward of 1,000 subscribers. No, I should do a little giveaways. What Pruda was thinking, and I made a hood, but I'll have to do this via Instagram. In which case, I have to wake up on Instagram. It's been a while since I've been active there, but I can find it. I have a hood, which is quite cool. But nalbounding hoods are not found or existent in the Viking Age. And the colors on this one, you can't even get by. There's a nice picture of Virginia wearing it backwards, and she kind of looked like a Viking unicorn. But if I find that one, actually this one we could give away because I don't think I can even put it in the shop. It's way too colorful. There. That one. I could do a giveaway with that. It's a backwards hood and the colors are really, really, really bright. There it is backwards. So you can see the opening is on the back of her head instead of the front. I don't think I did take a, there. So it's very bright and probably fun for a kid or a really fun adult. There's there. It's done in Oslo stitch with super, super thick wool. And there. So I could give that away. So stay tuned. I need 230 more watched hours and then I can go live. Apparently that's the one thing I'm missing. Then I can send from a gimbal on the phone and we won't look like this. And we can actually walk around more. So that's my thought.
Yeah, more walking is exactly what I need in my life.
Oh yeah. We have to exercise the Viking because you're so fat. No. There's Prude answering that I didn't have a mic. Let's see. Jenny had wrote, every single person in ICU in Scania is just now are unvaccinated. Oh, wow. Many are in their 30s. So they're getting younger and younger, but that's the Delta variant that they're saying is the reason for that?
Well, without underlying reasons, people in their 30s shouldn't normally be in ICU over this. But people are not necessarily smart just because they have underlying reasons. So they might very well be unvaccinated.
They just have to stop licking each other. No, maybe it's just hugging now, not just licking. I saw there's a question in there and I got a good Viking here for me. Drea in my hometown of Duluth asked it and now I just lost the question. Oh yeah, did Vikings have open air gazebos to shelter from the rain? You know, like
like a pavilion.
Yeah, like a pavilion. So that basically we would, anytime we get out of the rain, it gets darker on us, but it's not raining anymore.
I don't know. The technology behind that is so simple that they probably wouldn't make it if they felt the need for it. I don't know of any evidence. There might be something that looks kind of like that on the Bayeux tapestry or maybe the Oseberg.
There is one on the Bayeux tapestry. It's supposed to represent a house, but it looks like a gazebo.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think Virginia, when she was doing her embroidery, chose to use that to resemble a house.
I seem to have remember seeing something like that. Having a platform that is out of the rain might be necessary for some kind of political or religious ceremonies, for instance. And it wouldn't be beyond their technology to make something like that. But it's hard to find hard evidence for it.
We've been using tent awnings, but that's just
Yeah, but pavilion or a gazebo would leave very little in the sense of physical evidence if one existed. So you would have to find it in a depiction somewhere. And it kind of depends. I haven't looked closely on the Bayeux tapestry depictions. I can't say for sure. It might be a representation of a house, and sometimes their art, and this is one thing that really drives me up the wall with the Vikings, sometimes their art is extremely representative. So notice, for instance, if they want to tell you that a horse is big, they just make the rider tiny. So they have these kind of artistic conventions that
that technique still works today in painting.
Yeah, but it looks stupid if it's standing right next to people that are normal sized in comparison to the horse.
Yeah, that's true.
The Vikings' art is cool, but not photorealistic.
Let's see if we got some more on here. Yeah, and I like Jenny Erickson, so I'm a little bit behind on chat. Now the truth comes out. You licked the monk.
Probably.
He's not denying
it. Might have been that we were sharing the shop. Me and Greg are when Elin is not here, we are the only two people who can operate the till. So we just split it, half a day for me, half a day for him. So we are touching the same surfaces and licking the same money. That might be the problem.
Probably shouldn't lick money.
Probably not.
No.
But it's so good.
Jeez. Then they're saying bye to Runa. Torben says, Karl used a pillowcase for a hat during the winter. He kind of still is.
That was a ridiculously cold winter in Sogndal. It's always like that. Before the snow comes, it's like minus double digits centigrade. And I didn't have a fucking hat because I'm from Selje. We don't need that.
That's what we say in Duluth too, and then we end up with frostbite.
Yeah, no, I'm used to. It's cold. You wear something wind tight, and you're fine.
Yeah.
Because back where I'm from, it's like 0 degrees, but then you have a small storm, so it feels like it's minus 40. But as soon as you have something wind tight on you, it's fine.
Yeah.
But in Sogndal, it's actually minus 20. You put on something wind tight, and it's still minus 20. So I decided that I needed a hat, and I took the pillowcase off my pillow and just tied it around my head like some kind of fucked up turban.
Was it a cotton pillowcase?
I am not a textile man. I
Well,
would guess probably, yeah.
Because then it probably didn't help you that much.
No, but it was probably better than nothing.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Well, it was better than nothing. But it also resulted in people feeling sorry for me and then chipping in to buy me a hat.
They do that here too. They feel sorry for you and start making you clothing. That's how you ended up with a pair of pants and a cloak and a this tunic is because probably I felt sorry for you. No,
this tunic is because you like me, but the grey thing that I'm wearing, I think that is because Jenny and Virginia really didn't like me walking around in a gamberson.
Ah, that's true. Yeah, that you did kind of look like a pillow. A dirty pillow.
That gamberson is kind of...
it's quilted.
It's kind of up for debate. They must have had something that had that effect, but exactly what the fuck it looked like is a little bit unclear. So we are using early medieval gambersons, which might be completely correct, and it might also be way off. We don't have the archaeology to say one way or another.
Well, yours is basically, it looks like a quilted vest, a long quilted vest with a, and you belt it.
It's like a padded Nero jacket, is that what you call it in America?
Bubble jacket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that, but made out of linen. And historically, the inside of it would be the braided tail hairs of a horse. But we use something like cotton or wool these days.
My needle binding got messed up in the bag. But the good news is that I left the yarn on my needle, so it's not going anywhere. This could take a while. They like the pillowcase for the hat thing, by the way. You, Maria says that you were like the original Ghostbuster then. Oh, and Torben says he cut your hair once and he also hit you with his car. I like Torben.
Yeah. Oh. We had been at Meieria playing role-playing games, and I'm living in Centrum, so not that far away from Meieria. And I'm walking back home, smoking a cigarette, and then I hear somebody is really revving their engines behind me. So I turn around and I think, okay, Sogndal is not exactly 100% crime-free, so I'm a little bit worried until I turn around and say, it's just Torben fucking around. So I don't move out of the way at all. I'm just standing in the middle of the road smoking. Because I'm damn sure that he is going to stop before he hit me. Right, Torben? You should stop before you hit people. But he didn't. So I landed on his on the front of his car, staring into his eyes over the wheel of the car, still with my cigarette in my mouth. And I probably, if he could photograph me in that moment, that would probably be the definition of shocked.
This explains so much about Karl.
What was the other thing he mentioned?
He cut your hair once. So did Greg, but he only cut like this much off.
There are pictures of me with no hair at all in this area and hair about as long as this on the sides.
You're very pretty. You could be a monk. Maybe that's why you were wearing the pillowcase.
No. I think I had short hair at the pillowcase time, but I don't really remember. Because generally I go from skinhead to Jesus.
Yep.
When somebody calls me a hippie, I get frustrated and cut off all of my hair, and then occasionally also shave my head. And then I just ignore it until somebody calls me a hippie again, like 3 years later.
Don't call him a hippie. I see the internet is lagging just a little bit. Yeah, that's probably due to the weather, I'm guessing, because it's on my cell phone. So this time we have if I try to use the diner Wi-Fi, which is just over there, then it's really bad. But if I use my cell phone, I get a better link. But Karl's aged very well for sure. Much improved. Yes. But this is kind of fun. I've showed you this trick before, but it has been a while. So I will show it again if I can figure out how to get up. Okay, take off your hat.
What are we doing now?
Okay, see Karl? 45. To expose the gray. Karl? 85. As you get the dark, when you get all the grays pointing down. Actually, no, the camera's very nice today. But it's weird when you take all the black away, suddenly you've gone up in years. Yenny's got a really cool gray stripe right here, and it's nothing to do with age. She's always had that. I think that is really awesome. But yes, you've aged very well. I also saw that Connie is Charlotte's mother, so hey, welcome. And Kiwi's back. She made it from hello from Bergen. Welcome back. Albert is here. He says he's walking home with his phone in his hand. That's really good. That's dedication. That's like Charlotte trying to run and watch on the bus. Arlene is here. Sorry, she's late. She's cutting the grass today. High at 26, but feels like 30. Wow, that's hot. By the way, what you were explaining, the wind earlier, that is, we have that in Duluth, the wind chill.
Yeah.
So if it says minus 40, it's actually like minus 80 wind chilled Fahrenheit.
Yeah, something like that. In Sogndal, there is basically no wind. I think in the 11 years I lived there, I would say it's 3 or 4 days where I would answer windy if somebody asked me what the weather was like. But just as you cross the river, there is always a little bit of draft.
Yeah.
And this is super cold air that is basically so heavy that it just flows down the river, so to speak. I was not the most conscientious of students when I was at the Teachers Academy in Sogndal.
Yeah.
So there was a few days when I'm walking down, I'm starting on the river, and on every out breath, my mustache,
your mustard
immediately freezes to ice. So I go, okay, no, fuck this. It's not that important. And then I just go home and go to bed. That's why I'm a Viking and not a teacher.
I noticed that, for example, in Duluth, you never, ever, ever wash your hair in the morning and then go to school, for example, or to work, because by the time you get there, it's ice, especially if you have to wait for a bus. So you always have to do that at night and then sleep with wet hair, which is not very comfortable either. This is going to take a while. I might not get any needle binding done today, but I'll show you what I did this week when I was supposed to be doing other stuff. I finished a hat. I have to tie my end in.
And by supposed to do other stuff, you mean supposed to learn how to play Crusader Kings?
Yep, I was supposed to learn how to play Crusader Kings so I could have concubines too.
Right.
Well, actually, no. My kids found out that. So Karl got a computer so we could play a game together, and then sends me home with it to Vespi so we can play it during the weekdays. My kids found out Sims is on there. So they've been kidnapping the computer. So I finally made it through the tutorial, though. I think that was a feat. But that's a heavy game.
No, I would say it's the most complicated computer game I've played. So I don't expect you to take it overnight.
Have I heard of a hairdryer? Yep. But it also dries the crap out of my hair. This is a slouchy hat, by the way.
That's what it's for.
Yes, but it makes it really get like dry, like break. Yeah, damages. That's it. So this is superwash, by the way. So that's why there's strings hanging on. I used a lazy joint, so I have to weave all these in after. But there you go. I think it's a very boring hat.
That's the speed needle binding you were talking about.
This is York. It's not as fast as Oslo for me because I have to tighten the stitches, but it is F2 so that I could still tighten it around my thumb, but you still have to make it extra tight. But if it's F2, then it goes a little bit. You can see there's a couple of loose spots like that that is because of the lazy joining. Right now it looks like one of those Newfoundland fisher's hats with the all the thrums on it, if you know what a thrummed hat is. I did a tutorial for how to do thrummed needle binding. And you actually do this intentionally with like pieces of wool anyway, and the whole thing looks like a Muppet. Oh, I need to make you one. Anyway, I was gonna make something with those thrummed mittens. Anyway, but if when I weave these in, then those little loose spots will go back to normal. But there you go. Also have to, in an incredibly boring light brown color. But that hat that I made with the plant dyed yarn that was very light, hard to tell, sometimes looks purple, sometimes it looks blue, in York, that sold right away. I have no taste. So I'm like, here, Ellen, here, you wanted a boring hat. I don't like boring colored hats. And...
Oh, did I tell you about the drinking horn with the silver rim?
Ah, no.
We had an order for a lot of things from one of our suppliers. And one of the things that came was a horrible drinking horn.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be nice. It's supposed to have a silver rim and it's supposed to have a silver end piece. But all of these things looks like they have been glued together with by a guy with absolutely no pride in his work. So on one side, the horn goes under the rim. And on the other side, the horn goes this far over the rim. The rim doesn't hit the actual edge of the horn. So I'm opening the packages, and what I usually do is to use our markup and then take their price, add our markup, and then just put it on the shelf. And I go, okay, this is horrible. I can't sell this to people, because if I use our calculations, I should sell it for 750 kroner. And it's like, I would say no if you try to give it to me for free. I might just pick off the silver and then throw it away. But I asked my boss at the time, what do I do with this thing? And he said, well, I'm not here right now. Just put it, just put the price tag on it, put it on the shelf, and I'll look at it when I get back. I sold it within 40 minutes.
Wow.
I thought it would never sell.
Yeah.
But no.
Well, see, you're like me. You have no taste. Oh, so things I don't think would sell.
Oh, our Scottish guide, Mal, told a story about when he used to work in antiquariate, used bookstore. He got this book called The Roundabouts of Slough, about the roundabouts in Slough in England.
Oh my, that sounds exciting.
Kind of picked it up and said, this is never going to sell. And as he is holding it in his hands, a customer goes, oh, the roundabouts of Slough! And then he just buys it out of his hand, more or less. There is somebody who will buy literally everything. But good shopkeeping is to try to hit the tourists that actually walk through the gates, not the mythical Russian gangster.
Well, I was holding rings from Anders. Those actually do sell quite well. But I was looking for a specific size, so I picked out the 2 sizes that I needed anyway. But in the meantime, so I had the bowls sitting next to me at the cash register as I was going through them. 3, 4, 5 customers come through, and 2 of them buy rings. Oh, look at that. Unfortunately, they bought the size I was looking for. So I had to get them to custom make a different size. But yeah, I think it's just because they, I don't know.
And one thing that absolutely does not sell, and this I kind of made a game out of it, because I tried very, very hard to sell these things, because they have a cool story. It's a type of glass called a circus cup, right next to Circus Maximus in Rome. They found this, they're made out of clear glass, and they have colored drawings on them that kind of looks like a child with some serious learning disabilities has made it. It's horribly ugly, but it might be one of the world's first souvenirs. That's why they call it the circus cup, because people might have been buying it when they go from the provinces, they come into Rome and go to the Circus Maximus, and they buy these cups kind of as a memento that I have been there. And we had them in our shop for 2 years. And every time I get a customer to talk about glass, I tell them the story about the circus cups and try to get them to buy one.
Yeah.
Never able to. They are too ugly, even by tourist standards.
Yeah. I have to catch up on chat again. There was the hairdryer thing. Albert had to walk about 3.5 kilometers home because he missed the bus. See, Charlotte would have made the bus. Just, thought I'd point that out there. And you look like Gandalf when I start messing with your hair.
3.5 kilometers is what we would have to walk if your car broke down.
It's a Viking workout. I like that. Arlene says she has a white stripe right in the front too. She had to, right here, yeah. She had to, or she cut her hair off the other day when it was hot, and now she has 42-inch braid to pin to my hat to be period. Oh, what a cool idea! That was wow. You must have cut off quite a bit of hair, if I got that right, to get a 42-inch braid to join it, unless you put a bunch of pieces together. But oh, what a good idea! I know what I'm going to do with your hair. I'm going to spin it and make yarn out of it. I mean, somebody's going to buy that hat. Let's see. Drea says waist length hair kills hair dryers. It does, actually. Yeah, because it makes it just really frizzy. So air dry. Kiwi said she's made a pair of socks in the Floberg stitch this week. The Floberg stitch. That is like Mammen or Corgan. So you go 2 behind the thumb, 2 behind the thumb anyway, and then you switch and you go forward underneath one, just like Mammen. But the trick is then for Floberg, I believe, if I'm remembering this correctly, this yarn goes under, not over. So like instead of the Mammen stitch, which would look like that on your thumb, you would do that. If I have that correct, I have to double check. I don't know. Every once in a while, I love the new Lock and Tot page. Or Neulock-and-Tot, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, the Finnish one anyway, because it's the needle binding Bible, and then if I can't remember what exactly the Rindal stitch was, I'd look it up, and then I would get it there. So I might be wrong on the Floberg one without having my trusty lookup. Yeah, and I remember to take a picture of this wonderful weather we're having here in Gudvangen, but it's all been so bright and sunny, everything looks so contrasty otherwise. Torben says, but Karl is the best GM or game master ever. His role-playing game stories are the best. Tell him that I have saved his WW books.
Very good.
No, he's really awesome. He's even got my kids playing, do role-playing games. We had a whole bunch of people here joining for that. Yeah. Show them what happened. Tell them the story of Sophie's character. This had us all in stitches.
Oh. Are you sure this story might not be...
You might have to make it a little... Even though this is not meant for kids, you might want to make it a little bit more... Well, okay. Her character had an ally, or somebody who's her advisor anyway. I don't know. But she, apparently in her story, used to make her advisor extra happy via the old ways anyway. And one of them resulted in an injury.
It needs to be pointed out here that... she is a werewolf. She is super strong. And her advisor was trying to make her happy. And she ended up being so incredibly
South of the
happy
border
that she broke his jaw with a very complex fracture. And after that, he speaks more or less like this.
And his name was Patty.
Every time he calls him on the phone, he tries and he best to give her advice, but it's not that easy anymore.
So if you were a very powerful werewolf, female werewolf, and someone's entertaining you south of the border, you would look like that if you clenched down. That was a funny day. Oh my God, we were laughing so hard. I don't think we ever got further in the story, but it was so, but I mean, it was funny. And then when Karl does his impression of the advisor with the jaw injury, it was really, I think it took me about 45 minutes to regain composure. After that, I decided you need to be my boyfriend. So that's as far as we're going to go into detail on that. But what other role-play games? Because here Maria says role-play game is awesome. We've got a bunch of role players here too. Which games have you done, and which ones do you like the most?
I think I like the World of Darkness ones the most, Vampire, Werewolf, and Mage.
Yeah.
Objectively, I have to say that the game system is better in RuneQuest and GURPS. but the world building isn't as good. So in vampire or werewolf, you can basically plump down anywhere in the world and you have a good idea about what's going on there, because everything has been explained in books after books after books after books after books.
Yeah. By the way, I'm making a wrist warmer. I start at the bottom and I work my way up. Something easy that I don't have to sit and count and pay attention to too much.
And I am fascinated by and really want to try Rogue Trader.
Rogue Trader?
It's Warhammer 40,000. It's kind of special in the sense that you basically have one main character. One of the players is the Rogue Trader, and the other ones are his machinist, his leader of the Marines. They are basically his helpers. So it's usually everybody is equal, more or less, or they are as equal as their characters turn out to be. But here you kind of have this one main character, and the other characters basically help him or her. I have seen Let's Plays of it, but I haven't actually played it, so I couldn't say, but it seems really fun.
Yeah? And then you also had Call of Cthulhu. And
Call of Cthulhu is hit or miss.
Really?
Sometimes when you get the mood right, Call of Cthulhu is very, very good. But sometimes it just completely falls by the wayside. I made a setting in Sogndal that I thought was really good. This is the Second World War. The characters are Norwegians, and Norway is being occupied, and they are being paranoid because of Germans. And then they are driving from one place to another, and in the rear view mirror of their car, I can see this huge wolf following them. But every time they turn around, the wolf is gone. I can only see it in the mirror. And I have a mood of the room. People are kind of scared on behalf of their characters, and everything works out fine until one of the players says, okay, this is getting too scary. We have to come up with some kind of nice name for that wolf. I suggest Tuslepus. Lurking cat, or it's the least scary name you can imagine. So basically the mood completely falls apart and nobody takes anything seriously. And like 5 minutes later, I have players juggling live dynamite and attacking the Germans on sight. So no.
A little update from Georg, our chieftain, who is once said that there are no fish in this fjord. So the first yeah, he says there's no fish to be found in the fjord. So then we were on a mission from Brad to prove him wrong. Unfortunately, we haven't had time to fish this year. But right now he's just, maybe it was because he was in a boat and now he's just hanging off the pier. I don't know. Maybe he's in his boat right now. So as soon as I get here today, he says, I have 6 mackerel. Do you need any fish? I'm like, oh, yeah. And anyway, so now he writes, he wants to know how much freezer space we have because he caught 5 more. Oh, and another one. So now he's up to 6 more.
He is fishing in a school of mackerels. So
I think he's just showing off, but I believe there are fish in the fjord.
He will get as many as he wants, as long as there are mackerel in the fjord that will bite on anything that sheds.
Oh, that's awesome. Fulberg is listed as finished 2+1. Yeah, so then it is the same as Mom and Corrigan. It's just that it goes over the leader, the yarn that goes to the needle instead of under. D&D, what are your thoughts on Dungeons & Dragons? I used to play that one.
It's the most popular one, but I have very little playtime in it. I played it a little bit, but I've never DM'd it.
Oh. Dungeon Master for the less geeky.
I played a half-orc character who was... My plan for the character was to make him the best cavalryman in the world. So everything goes to riding and lance. That's the things that he is supposed to be really good at. The first campaign, we are fighting in a bog. The only time I'm actually riding my horse is that when we have the celebratory parade at the end of the campaign, when we have beaten all the bad guys. The next campaign is on open fields. I think, okay, finally, now I can really show off my skills. So my orc in his spiked Gothic armor sits astride his war horse. There is a bunch of orcs in tight formation. I level my lance, I spur my horse and charge into this formation. But no matter how good you are, if you roll badly enough, you fuck up. So he tilts his lance down too early, accidentally pole vaults into the bunch of orcs, wakes up, stares up at 9 orcs, and then... So he was resurrected, but we didn't have access to the resurrection spell. We had only access to the reincarnate spell.
Yeah.
So for the rest of the setting, I was some kind of forest animal, a ferret, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because my orc had to be reincarnated as a ferret. So it's a ferret with the intelligence of an orc. So a slightly stupid ferret mob, with other words.
Okay, and because we're at the last 10 minutes, there's another story in there I have to bring up. But in the interest of Viking charades, and maybe not so much Viking, but we can try. Can you reenact that last story for us? That you were just telling about? No, you're just up on your feet. Do it properly. Tell the story by mime. This is Karl was my hero that day, by the way, 2 episodes ago when I lost sound. Fast forward to the end and you'll see. Okay, reenact. You're incredibly good at this.
Chuk, 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 chuk.
Did you land in the sheep poop?
Probably. There's sheep poop everywhere here, so...
I think we can talk him into doing one, at least one charade by the time before we go today. Let's see. Another one was Tunes that was mentioned. Tunes and the small Smurf one. What is that one? I haven't done Tunes.
Tunes is... Oh, I've barely played it. I think Torben was the GM of that.
Yeah?
It's basically... It operates on the same logic as Bugs Bunny cartoons and Tom and Jerry and that sort of thing. So basically,
Yeah.
if you can think of it, you can probably
Yeah, like
do it.
Looney Tunes, basically. Yeah, which is the new... there we go. Oh, by the way, you've got... they love the geeks, and they're dying at your performance. Yeah, Looney Tunes. It was kind of like... Well, it was Looney Tunes originally, but around the late 80s, early 90s, they started revamping them with Who Framed Roger Rabbit and the one with Air Jam, I think it was, with Michael Jordan. Yeah. Albert said he and his girlfriend played D&D. I used to play it in university. Back in the day, until we got caught in the... Drea will know this one. The Megastorm of 1991. I think that's still the worst one on history in Duluth. We got hit with 3 snowstorms in one night on Halloween. Basically, we were snowbound, snowed in for 4 days. 9 of us in a dorm meant for 2, which means the Dungeons and Dragons group really didn't continue after that weekend. I don't know what happened to those people, but none of us are talking to each other anymore. Wasn't bad. We just got sick of each other. Okay, now I have to bring this up. Well, think of something you want him to reenact, and I'll pick one of these. Yeah, Air Jam was that one. Garcia's here, by the way, speaking of Dutch people. Torben says, and I've heard you tell this story, and you need to tell it again. I know you've told it once here. Some more fun things from Sogndal. The balliste, the trebuchet, of course, the cannon.
Oh, the cannon.
You think you can tell that story, or do you need to reenact it?
Oh, this is kind of embarrassing to tell. Because we are 4 people who absolutely should know better. We have no excuse for being this stupid. It's me. I'm a gun nut. Most people know this about me. Torben, he had shooting as an elected subject at school. Karin, his girlfriend, is a competitive shooter, and I don't know if she does any hunting. And Geir Ove, who has been in the military and should know a little bit about guns. We are both, yeah, and Jostein Odd, who is also a gun nut. But we are bored, so we build a cannon. The cannon is iron pipe about this long with a good chunk of gunpowder in the back, and then we have closed it with electric pipe clamps and duct tape. Then we've taken an actual bullet and wrapped it in tin foil and put it in front of all this gunpowder. And then we are really struggling to come up with some kind of idea on how to ignite the gunpowder inside here without drilling a hole in it. So what we end up doing is to put it on top of a brick, and then we take a candle and put all kind of crap in the candle and put it underneath it. And it just stands and burns, and we are standing around in the background going, yeah, wonder if it's going to work. And then it goes, whoosh, and it comes a little bit of smoke out of it, and nothing happens. And we go, okay, we try again. And we keep trying. And in the end, we have basically given up. I heard, this was filmed by somebody's cell phone, and I could hear myself saying, it's probably not going to blow up this time either. And then somebody says, should we go and put it out? And I would say, no, I would rather have a mark on my record than get wet. And then it goes, boom! Because there is nothing stopping the fucking pipe. So the pipe moves backwards at about the same speed as the bullet moves forward. The pipe goes under one parked car, ricochets off the ground, hits into the side of another parked car, and then ricochets back to the first car that it passed under, and it goes back and forth there for a while. Very obviously noticeable marks on the cars, by the way, but I haven't heard anything, so shh. The bullet is obviously not spin stabilized because there are no riflings in this barrel. So the bullet hits the wall sideways and is squished like a snail. I think Torben's Karin still has this bullet somewhere as a memory of how stupid people can be.
Geeks for the win.
So the last thing we hear on the video type is me saying, "Oh, fuck me!" And then we just run like headless chickens, sit in a kitchen, sit in a kitchen laughing for the longest time. And then we decide to very sneakily go down and see if it was any damage to the cars. And yeah, it was! Pick up the pipe, hide all the evidence, and not speak about this much for the next couple of weeks.
Don't worry, nobody here will ever tell.
I think we are past the
what is it? The
statute of
limitations. The statute of limitations. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, World of War or Warhammer 40K. Is it WH40K? Anyway, Pruda wants you to write a campaign for them when they come to visit at some point, and I have just the book for him to take notes with. Look what I got him. It's just as creepy as Karl. So he can, I got that. I thought I needed. Give me your hand, Karl. It could be the same. I mean, he did clip his fingernails recently, but the fingers are just as bony as the. That is an awesome little book. Actually, I got it. My kids picked it out. My kids are creepy too. They picked this out about 4 or 5 years ago, and they haven't. I think she colored in like 5 pages, and that's it. So I erased what I could, and it's now. Also, and it's we got it in Sweden, by the way. Läskiga anteckningsboken. Was it the creepy drawing book or whatever? Den här boken tillhör, and that'll have to be you. It belongs to you. Tillträdd förbjudet. So there you go. If you're in Sweden, you'll have to look for it. Oops, I got a drop right on my on my camera lens. Somehow, I think we just.
Oh, it looks like a Tuffe filter.
It does. You just have to lick the lens. That get a little bit better? Yeah. Okay. So, and oh yeah, one more thing I can show you before we make Karl under the bus. This is what I worked on this week. Embroidery. I'm not sure what to use them for, but I'll probably put them in the store. So that one is completely done. You can see there's a second color on both snakes. And this is the one I'm working on. So I don't know really what to do with these. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but I'll put those in the store at some point. We are getting close to putting up book links, by the way. So I need Karl to do, it's at 59 minutes 54. So we have to squeeze in one more charade for Karl. They actually didn't put anything on. So I will put in one more suggestion. Wasn't one for Greg, yeah, but the one that's for Greg, he uses teeny tiny silk and it's on his tunic, but I didn't have it with me this week. So I rifled through my drawers and did linen. Okay, I want you to reenact the cannon story before you go.
Well,
Shooting off the cannon, or you can do the trebuchet, whichever one you want. Since we don't have a Viking one here. Okay, Karl's, whoops, reenacting. You're good at this. All right.
that's the short version. It actually took something like 3 hours, but
Oh, that was awesome. So it's Friday next week as well then. That works for you? Well, if I drag you out with me, or maybe I have Greg, but
yeah. No, we'll just plan around it.
Yep, Greg lost track of the time last time, so he comes back 15 minutes after and goes, I totally forgot. But he has promised to tell the story as soon as he can, but I keep catching him on his days off. So anyway, thanks for playing with us, and we'll see you next week. And I will see if I can't sort of set up some sort of giveaway. I'll have to post it in the needle binding group as well. If I have to check the Facebook laws on that one. Maybe I can do a giveaway of the unicorn hood as a. But anyway,
Should make it a condition that whoever gets it actually has to wear it in public and give us photographic evidence.
yeah, it's really bright. It looks like a unicorn puked all over a Viking. But it's warm and it's cool. Anyway, and yeah, so I need 230 hours of watch time before I hit 4,000. I didn't realize this. I got 1,000 subscribers, but now I need 4,000 watched hours. So 230 more watched hours if you feel like binge watching it. If you didn't see the charades, go back to 2 weeks ago. I think it was 76, and watch the last 15 minutes of Karl when we had no sound. He's my hero. Anything you want to say?
No.
Okay. You can tell me which one was your favorite one. Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye. See you Friday. And yeah. Bye.
Bye.